Missouri.
Hello, my friends. Now that I just turned 29 this month, I thought of making a video about the 29 things I've learned in my 29 years of existence. So I wrote it down in my notes on my old phone. So the first one is, sometimes it's not about you, it's about them. Sometimes when people have a problem with you and then they will spread bad rumors about you, sometimes, most especially if you know that you didn't do something bad to those people, sometimes it's them who are problematic. It's them who has like inner issues, and so that's why they're doing bad things to you, even if you only did good things to them. So yeah, so always keep in mind that, you know, when I was young, I remember I would have friends that no matter how I try, they still end up getting mad at me, and I remember I would feel like so bad, and it will make me feel like, why? Like, am I not enough? Am I not like a good friend when I already did everything I could? Most of the time, now that I'm an adult, I realize that sometimes they are just toxic people. Just try to stay away from people who drain you dry. Number 2, I've learned to assert my rights and stand up for myself, most especially in the workplace. And I realized that setting boundaries is totally okay and good for your mental health. So now we're on number 3. I've learned not to be too hard on myself, most especially since I've gained the most weight now that I'm in my late 20s. Like, for the longest time when I was in my early 20s up to my middle 20s, no matter how much I eat and drink, I didn't really gain that much weight. But now that I'm on my late 20s, I gained the most weight, and I've learned that, you know, when people around you are already not being too nice to you and always pointing out your weight, that's the time when you should actually be kind to yourself and not be too hard on yourself and not say bad things about yourself. And number 4, be kind, but don't waste your time proving that you are. I think I've read this somewhere before, and honestly, before, I used to worry a lot about what other people think of me, but really, like, you know your heart, and you don't have to prove it to anyone. God knows it, God sees you, and as long as you know your heart, that's what's important. No matter what people say are just like noises that are irrelevant. So number 5, it's totally okay to try new things even at 29. So I started my YouTube channel like 2 months ago, and now I'm really having fun doing it. And I think that it's a creative outlet, and I'm having fun editing, and I'm having fun sharing what I know. And yeah, it's just nice to have a new hobby that you actually enjoy. So don't be scared to try new things even at 29. My daughter's here, so keep looking at her. Say hi. So number 6, don't take everything personally. Number 7, we all have different lenses to see the world, and we don't always see the big picture. That's why and like, I'm guilty with this too. Most of the time, I still have to keep reminding myself not to say things too easily or not to judge others too quickly, because we don't always see the big picture. And number 8, your happiness should not depend on people, because people fail us. We're all imperfect and flawed human beings. And I guess I've learned this the hard way, but it's so true. Like, everybody will fail us. Even if that's our parents, that can be our kids, that can be our partner, because in reality, there's no perfect person and we all make mistakes. So if you actually put your happiness on your spouse or on your kids and they make mistakes, that's gonna make you unhappy. So it's just important not to attach your happiness to people. It should be mostly inner. It should come from the inside and not from the people around you, because people fail and even you yourself fail. I know I make mistakes, so yep, it's just normal for human beings to fail. Number 9, let go of people's expectations in every milestone or part of your life you are on. Like, for example, based on my experience, after we got married, people are already expecting us to get pregnant right away. And you know what? We all have different bodies, and it's like every story is different. This is different. So don't let other people's expectations weigh you down. It's okay. Like, even if you might have to pep talk yourself some days. I do that to myself, and I tell myself that it's okay. I don't have to let other people's expectations weigh me down. Everything works in its own time, in its perfect time, and you know, I just have to be patient. And yeah, I not just with married couples, right? Like, let's say you just graduated and you're having a hard time finding a job. Don't be too hard on yourself. Don't let people weigh you down no matter what they say. It's just irrelevant noises. Let things flow in its own perfect timing, and don't let those noises weigh you down, because it doesn't define you. They don't define you. Number 10, don't be too bothered with people's opinions as long as you know your heart and it is in the right place. Yeah, as long as you know that you're a good person and your heart is in the right place and you're not hurting others or whatever, don't be bothered. Even if a lot of people say bad things about you, again, most of the time, it's about them. Sometimes people have inner problems, or I don't know, maybe sometimes they're just jealous of you, or I don't know, sometimes we have bad days too where we don't intend to treat people bad, but maybe some people find us to be not too nice when we're having bad days. I don't know, there's a lot of factors, but you know, as long as you know that you're not doing something bad, you're not stepping on others, you're not ruining other people's lives or family, I think you're good. And I guess it's also important really to always reflect, and like even asking the people around you. I know it might be hard, but from asking others, I think you will really be able to know what needs to be changed in yourself, because sometimes we're not really good judge of ourselves because we have a bias. I don't know, but yeah. So yeah, that comes to my number 11. That number 11 is always stop and reflect every now and then. You might be in the wrong sometimes, and accepting that you are wrong is the first step to growth. Because once you actually accept it, then you'll realize that there's something that needs to be changed. So yeah, it's really important to reflect every now and then and not just blame others all the time, because sometimes you can be the problem. And number 12, of course, as always, acceptance is not enough. You always have to work on yourself and change your ways. That doesn't really help you grow, or if it hurts the people you love, or even just the people around you. So, you know, when I was younger, I used to believe that that people should just accept you for what you truly are. But now now that I'm older, I realize that we can always change for the better. And if, like, to be a mature individual, you have to realize that there might be things about you that you need to change because it might be hurting the people around you. And then the next one is this one. Change is good. Change is good if it's for the better. So change is always good, most especially if it's for the better. Number 6, we can always, no, not number 6. The next one is we can always break free from the wrong patterns and conditioning that was passed on to us by our family or ancestors, most especially if it causes more harm now than good. So like I always tell this in my videos, that we can always break free from all the wrong conditionings and all the wrong ways that we were brought up. We don't always have to copy it. We don't always have to normalize things that were normalized, even if they weren't serving us good or it's not really good. So this is kind of connected. The next one is, it's okay to change your parenting style. You don't have to use all the ways like how you were brought up, most especially for the ones that didn't really work good or is already obsolete for this generation. So again, I believe that every generation is different. That's why I don't like it when people say, oh, in our generation, blah. Even my parents used to say that a lot before, but I believe that every generation is different and you always have to be adaptable to change, because what works before might not work now in this generation. So just be adaptable and always be ready to change for the better. Next one is, again, in line with that, keep the good and let go of the bad. And it goes with everything, even with the people you let inside your life or your circle. So yeah, I guess with every aspect of our life, we can always, again, set boundaries and we can let go of those things that is not really serving us good. We can keep the ones that are really good and we can use for the betterment of our lives, but the ones that are not really working well and just, I don't know, hurting others or hurting your kids or hurting your partners, we can just let it go. I'm gonna insert Elsa here. So next one is, life is all about relationships. And the next one after that is, relationships are hard work. You have to invest in them, make time for them. So basically that's like all, for me, I believe that you have to make time for all your relationships. Your spouse, your kids, your parents, your siblings, and your friends. Because yeah, I believe that relationships are like plants. You have to water them every day, and there might be like they might be different kinds of plants, where there are plants that you have to water every day, right? There are plants that is low maintenance, and it's like that. We have to take care of our relationships, because at the end of the day, we're not gonna look for our achievements or the money that we earn. It's gonna be the people we love in our relationships. In our deathbed, we're gonna regret not loving them enough, or not spending the time we should have spent with them when we were still alive or in good health. So next one is, I used to be a rebellious person, and then I got to know God more in a much deeper way, and I learned that all this time He's been reaching out to me, and I'm the only one who's been running away. And in line with that one, the next one is, I also learned that He is the kind of God that really loves me unconditionally. And it's not a performance-based love where He will only love me if I do good things. In fact, I felt that He was there whenever I hit rock bottom. It may be in life or in relationships, both. I feel like He has been pulling me out of situations that would put me in danger. And I believe that even though my past is not perfect, He can still turn it all around and make it perfect for my purpose. And if not, He made it my strength. And because of God's love that changed me and inspires me to be the best I can be every day, I want to be a blessing to others too, and I want to be a light for others who are experiencing darkness. Next one is, we can change others. If you try to get into a relationship thinking that you can change a person, then you're setting yourself up to fail. I used to make these mistakes over and over when I was younger, and now I've learned that no, it's not really a good thing to do. We can change people. Next one is, most of the time when you judge other, it boomerangs. You will be judged one day on how you judge others. Although I think this is a lifelong work, because we're just all naturally judgmental. We all have our judgy moments, right? So yeah, I think it's a continuous work for me. I don't know for you, but yep. Next one is, we're all sinners, and just because we sin differently than others, or we think that our sins are less severe, doesn't make us more precious than others. That's why I also have to keep reminding myself not to be judgmental at times, because I can be. Because I have to always remind myself that I'm also imperfect and I also make mistakes. And judging others doesn't make me more special than them. So next one is, my purpose is planted in my heart, and I kind of had to dig down a little to uncover it. So I believe that I've heard it before from one of my mentors, and he said that he believed that our purpose is actually planted in our hearts, and sometimes it gets covered up with, I don't know, some things. So sometimes it gets covered up, but I think if you dig a little and really try to know what your heart's desire is, I think you will be able to see and grasp your life's purpose. And the next one is, when I realized what my purpose and passion was, I felt like I've always had this burning fire inside me, and it keeps me going every day and really keeps me motivated. So I think it's important to know and be able to grasp your purpose, because I believe that, like for me, I believe that we all have a divine purpose in the world. But sometimes it also scares me. Sometimes it gives me anxiety, and I ask myself, what if I end up dying and I didn't really get to pursue all my life's purpose? So that brings me to the next one. And I wrote that I think it's really important to live every day as if it's your last, in line with the last one, because you'll really never know. Life is not guaranteed, and it's a blessing every day. So I try to do as much as I can not to regret it at the end of the day. Small things, I tell the people I love that I love them every day, because I don't want to regret one day when I'm in my deathbed and I will, life will flash before my eyes, and I'm gonna think that, oh my gosh, I didn't even tell them that I love them enough. So I believe that life is never promised, and every day it's a gift, and I don't want to be in my deathbed one day and regret all the things that I didn't do or I didn't say to the people I love. So the last one is, it's really important to have an emergency fund and save for the future. I'm gonna insert a quote here. So thank you for watching this video or this vlog. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I hope you guys will realize this even before you turn 29. That's why I'm sharing, because I think after learning all this, life was a little bit more bearable and easier to sail. So thank you for watching, guys. See you on my next video.